Well, welcome and thank you for watching. I have the distinct pleasure of sitting today with Brian Gagne, one of the very passionate and active volunteers of the Searchmont No Limits adaptive ski program. Welcome, Brian. Thank you for making time today.
Thanks for having me.
So this program, we had been discussing earlier, this program has been active in the community for roughly 16 years, you said.
That's right, yeah.
And it was founded by?
Mr. Jim Anderson, who's been instrumental to the success of the program over the years. He's dedicated countless hours to it and training of the members and just passing on his general knowledge of skiing.
Wow, okay, so adaptive then, meaning really open to anybody regardless of their ability.
Yeah, that's the whole premise of the program, is to make downhill skiing accessible to everybody.
Wow.
And that goes from, people that are in wheelchairs. We do physical and mental exceptionalities. So everybody's welcome, and we take anybody.
Okay. Wow. So I'm trying to imagine the exhilaration of an individual who relies on a wheelchair to mobilize, the exhilaration of going down the hill, maybe for the first time ever. What is it like to experience individuals who perhaps maybe thought they would never have that opportunity?
Well, one of the things I always say to the team, we always say skiing and smiles. So, first of all, there's a lot of trust between the student to the instructor, because they're putting we have different skiing apparatuses. So we have a sit ski, so we put them in the sit ski, and then we just go down the hill,
Okay.
So they're really happy to do it because they're a part of the skiing world, Otherwise they wouldn't be able to do it. So.
Right, so that opportunity to experience things that perhaps were not, within their concept prior to. So now throughout the year, obviously, winter feels like it lasts about 10 years, but obviously there's downtime. Do you do any sort of fundraising events throughout the year, or?
Yes, last year we hosted something called a Sip and Stitch, which was filled with textiles and art. That was a great fundraiser, but it was more about awareness, getting people like, hey, look, we have this program.
Yeah.
A lot of the community thought it was just for people with physical disabilities.
Okay.
And I partnered with another foundation called the Algoma Autism Foundation this year.
Yes.
And they hadn't realized either that it was for people with mental exceptionalities. So we got them involved, and actually they just gave us a very generous donation of $10,000.
Wow.
Which is going to be used to put towards another sit ski. The better equipment we have, the better we can serve the clients.
100%. So just to kind of give our viewers a concept, a sit ski, what can that cost?
$10,000.
Oh, they are $10,000.
Yeah,
Okay.
$10,000 for, and that's the greatest technology that we can get.
Okay.
We call it this one's like riding in a Cadillac. And then we have other ones that are like, well, this one's kind of like a Jeep,
All right. So yes, the partnership with the Algoma Autism Foundation, certainly a fundraising powerhouse. I had the pleasure of speaking with Jamie Boston on Friday.
Great guy, compassionate.
Definitely. So, projecting towards the future, have you seen, since your active involvement with the association, have you seen the membership, the participants, the numbers grow?
Yeah, we got an additional 15 clients this year.
Okay.
Just from community outreach.
Wow.
And really just going around and talking to people. It was all lots of word of mouth, and plus we had a Facebook page.
Yes.
That started to get shared more widely.
Okay.
And, obviously, social media helps in those instances.
Yes.
So I try to keep the page as active as I can.
Yeah.
And try to do different things on the page, because it can get boring just showing somebody going down the hill. So we try to do other fun things on the page as well.
Well, excellent. Okay, so are you still? No, I'm. Pardon me. I'm not a skier. Is the hill still open? Are you still working with participants?
So our program runs for 10 weeks generally.
Okay.
We did extend it 2 weeks this year, so we ran it for 12 weeks. So it would start generally, around January and run for 10 weeks.
Okay.
But the longer the season, this year we were lucky with the amount of snow we had, so we said, okay, let's do it 2 weeks longer for anybody who maybe missed some lessons, who want to make up some lessons.
Okay.
and that's what we did.
And how does it structure? So it's one lesson per week, or as many
So
as they want?
the programs run on Sundays.
Okay.
It starts at 10 o'clock in the morning, and we go till the hill closes at 1600 or 4 o'clock. Sorry.
Okay.
4 p.m.
Oh, that's okay. So now you talked about, now I know it's 100% volunteer driven. Now, do you have a volunteer, like is one person assigned to work with one participant so that level of trust that you mentioned can develop?
Well, we don't try to keep one instructor with one student.
Okay.
We keep a profile of all the students, and if another instructor has to come in, they can read it and say, okay, this is what they did last week, so I know where to continue on.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so that continuity then, so there is like a flow.
And it keeps all the instructors at the same skill level.
Excellent.
That's the intent. We don't want some really good instructors and then some that don't have the opportunity to increase their skills. So.
Well, in terms of visibility, obviously I invited you in because I'd like to kind of help with that. I assume that as well as inviting new participants, you would also be open to new volunteers.
We definitely need more volunteers. That's the one thing. It's a time commitment.
Yeah.
But even if you have an extra 2 hours on a Sunday, you can come out, take one student down, and you can go. But
yeah.
We always need more instructors. That's something that's hard to get, for sure.
Okay. And is there a certain skill level, a certain proficiency that you seek in a volunteer?
No, that's the thing. We're also qualified to train instructors. So even if you haven't skied before, you can come on Sundays, and we'll show you how to ski, and then eventually work you up to taking students down the hill.
Okay, so you're listening. If you are into skiing or learning to ski and you would like to volunteer, certainly an excellent opportunity to support an amazing association and give back to the community. Brian, do you have any events on the horizon now that the season is winding down?
We might host another fundraiser this year, but we're waiting to see if that's viable.
Okay, well, excellent. Well, again, I'm really grateful that you were able to come in today to share information about this good work that you're doing. As always, I will be providing an article summary with direct links to their social media. So again, if you or someone that you know of would like to participate and take part in skiing, a sport which so many people are passionate about, or if you have time and passion and want to volunteer, they want to hear from you. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Eddie.